Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to JaySkinz Media Solutions Broadcasting, or as I like to call it, JMS Broadcasting. Thank you very much for joining me here on the season finale of the Racing for a Cause Super Late Model League. These guys, oh man, this is getting wild and crazy. Qualifying just now getting underway. And we're going to watch some cars here turn some laps. We're going to check out Andy Lambert, or Andy Buzzy Lambert, however you want to say it. Man, oh man, it's the final race, and we are here in beautiful Myrtle Beach Speedway. And I'll tell you, I couldn't be more excited to be bringing this broadcast to you. My name is K.R. Stolfus. Thank you oh so much for joining me. I hope everyone has a good time tonight and enjoys the season finale. So Lambert turning some lap times. We got multiple cars on the track right now that we cannot see because of qualifying format. But we're going to watch Lambert turn some laps here. And currently on top of the leaderboard, Sean Cool, who gave us a dominating performance last week, led every laps at Stafford. Just a spectacular drive, and he's picking up right where he left off, but AJ Hamill now knocks him off the top spot. Lambert turning in a lap time good enough for 7th. Sean Cool pulling in. Zach Quer out on the track right now. He's shutting her down. Wayne McDuff doing some laps as well. Zach Quer, for whatever reason, is not showing up. He is the empty number 8. He's scored 8th. He's the 81 car. I do not know why he is not being picked up. Al Smith Jr., our points leader, coming into tonight's race. Big story there. He is 4 points ahead of Ryan Nolin. 4-point lead coming into the final race. This is anyone's championship. Not to mention AJ Hamill is only 11 points behind Smith in 3rd place. So this season is not over yet. A lot can go on. Jeffrey Clifton getting in a little trouble here. Ah, he's warming up his tires. Heck yeah, get her done, buddy. Do a burnout there, man. I don't think anyone told him he's turned a lap yet. You can't celebrate till at least you turn a lap. Alright, we're in the final 2 minutes, 10 seconds or so of practice, or qualifying. We'll do a quick rundown of the points, which I promise I will not leave up this time. Like I said, Al Smith, your points leader, he's got 4-point lead over Ryan Nolin. AJ Hamill in 3rd, Andy Lambert in 4th, Andrew Hill 5th, Peyton Johnson 6th, Doug Wysocki in 7th, Wayne McDuff 8th, Chris Legu 9th, and Aaron Lampum 10th. So those guys in the top 3 for sure are the ones to watch tonight. The dark horse here would be Andy Buzzy Lambert. He could upset the field if there's a big upset on the field. So hopefully not. But thank you everyone for joining me for the Shriners Hospital for Children Love to the Rescue 150. This is going to be a great time. This was presented or purchased by John Johnson, who is not available to talk tonight. A little bit bummed we don't get to talk to the race promoter purchaser. The Racing for a Cause event tonight. He will be unavailable to speak with us. But it is the Shriners Hospital for Children 150. So guys, I don't know if you've been a part of Shriners or know anything about it, but go ahead and check them out. Google is a wonderful tool. You can just type in Shriners Hospital for Children, learn all kinds of information there, and a lot of good work comes out of Shriners. A lot of good volunteer, a lot of good, all kinds of just charitable stuff from the Shriners. So Ryan Nolin is currently on pole with a 19.412 as we enter the final 20 seconds. And Jeffrey Clifton is sitting in 13th with a 19.902. He's currently the only car who we can see. Andrew Hill is also sitting out on pit road. Justin McDuff and AJ Hamill, these guys all just kind of sitting there chilling. Final second here, and qualifying is over. That is it. So Ryan Nolin, your pole sitter, with a 19.412. Hamill with a 14. Hold on one moment. AJ Hamill with a 19.461. Sean Cool with a 19.475. Justin McDuff with a 19.486. Brian Rogers, the only Ford in the field, he managed to make it into 5th spot. But I'll tell you, after more than 3 laps, he's probably going to end up getting out of his car and pushing that thing a lot faster than it's going to go. All these other Chevys are just going to gobble that Ford up. Al Smith, our points leader, starting 6th with a 19.522. And, man, it's going to be exciting watching Smith come through the field. Nolan's sitting on poles, so that's not what Smith wanted to see, but Smith, he's crafty. He knows there's 150 laps in this race. He will make his way to the front. I have no doubt about that. Andrew Hill doing a great job, qualifying 7th with a 19.561. Zach Coyer in the 81 machine, who whatever reason his name is not popping up. No idea why. A 19.604. Andy Lambert with a 19.626. Peyton Johnson, a 19.682. Wayne McDuff with a 19.7. Doug Wysocki with a 19.9 flat. And Jeffrey Clifton with a 19.902. So I'll tell you, it's going to be a good race, guys. Myrtle Beach is a little bit of a tricky track. There are some difficulties to navigating this field as we start to see the cars rolling off after gridding here. But Myrtle Beach, like I said, a little bit of a tricky track. You really got to roll your corners here. You don't want to spend a lot of time in the throttle, and it gets really confusing because of that. This is really one of those tracks where less is more. You're going to have a lot better lap time as you can lay off the throttle, roll through your corners, and then you slowly pick the throttle back up and get on the straightaway. This is not one of my tracks. I am more of a put your foot down kind of guy. I do good at Bristol. I'm really good at Bristol, where you just keep your foot in it and call it good. All right, folks, here we go. Ryan Nolin bringing us down. Getting ready for the green flag. Pace car is off. Ryan Nolin has control of the field, and here we go.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. Ryan Nolin getting a good jump on AJ Hamill. Hamill trying to capitalize on only being 11 points back. Sitting in 2nd on this opening lap here, but Ryan Nolin doing a good job getting a good start here. 1 lap in the books of 150. We got some side-by-side action. And already, Al Smith already up into 4th. He started 6th, sitting in 4th place now. Doing a great job on that start. Passed a lot of cars. That Ford in the 12 machine of Brian Rogers. So there you go. Al Smith doing a great job. AJ Hamill all over the back of Ryan Nolin. Hamill needs to win this race. He needs to lead laps. He needs to get maximum points. Do everything he can if he wants to win this championship. This race is coming down to the final top 3. This is going to be the final lap, final everything. This is undecided. The race is undecided. The championship season is undecided. So much is undecided right now, guys. Nobody go anywhere. This is going to be interesting. We saw last week Sean Cool pull out a dominating performance, went flag to flag, no cautions, 100 laps of Stafford. I think it was 100. Oh man, they're going to fire me if I don't remember. But Ryan Nolin, AJ Hamels, these guys nose to tail here. We go on board now with AJ Hamel as he look into the inside of Ryan Nolin. Got a good view of that Champlain Explorer. So close to that inside wall coming out of turn 4. That's what makes this track a little bit difficult when you got to run that inside line. You get it wrong just a little bit and there's nowhere for you to go on that inside. There's no room of forgiveness. One good lap from way up here in the spotters tower. Get a good field of view here. You can see the whole track. You can see what these drivers are dealing with. You can see the race lap after lap as it sets and forms up. No one's really opened up inside this top 5. We got these 5 cars all sitting right here and then a little bit of a gap. Andrew Hill in the 77 machine has a bit of a gap here between him and 5th place of Brian Rogers. The 77 machine of Andrew Hill doing a great job out here. Hill had a great race going a couple weeks ago, only to see it just disappear as he got into the wall, got into some trouble. Had to battle back and then just ran out of time. Sean Cool, our last week's winner, had to start shotgun on the field because he won last week. Currently up to 9th. So he started 13th, now he's 9th. Working his way through the field, putting some pressure now on Andy Lambert. Will we see Sean Cool make his way to the front? Don't know. Still early in the race, only on lap 14 of 150. Douglas Wysocki, my favorite paint scheme in the 45 car. That car looks really sharp, one of my favorites. I'm voting for this guy to get the best looking car. That's my vote. You can take it to the bank. He's holding on to the 10th place right now. He's doing a good job running some solid laps. Got a little space to run here, no pressure around him. As we talk about Sean Cool trying to make a move now on Buzzy Lambert. To the inside he goes, might get him down the backstretch, not quite. Oh, Lambert in the outside wall there. Recovers nicely though. Lambert's got to figure out, is he going to keep fighting or tuck in behind Sean Cool? This will just keep costing both drivers time here. And there he goes. Lambert's going to tuck in, getting sideways there. Lambert got a little sideways coming off of turn 2. Saved it, but did lose another spot to Douglas Wysocki. Back up front, Ryan Nolin has a little bit of a gap now on AJ Hamel. And just as I say that, Hamel dives it deep into the corner. Can give you a little bit of track info here. It is an oval. It is just over a half mile, 0.52 miles. Only 35 feet up from sea level. The track is 95 degrees, so it's a little bit warm. Gonna have a little bit of slipperiness to it, but not a lot. Nothing these drivers can't handle. and it is in Myrtle Beach, USA. Our weather facts for today's race: the air temp is 70 degrees. It is crystal clear sky with partly cloudy. The winds are out of the north, just under 2 miles per hour, a very exact 1.99. 44% humidity and 0 fog. So some great weather for racing. Perfect track conditions in my opinion. And I'll tell you what, who is unaffected by all of this is Ryan Nolin. Leading the laps here, has led every lap so far as we are on lap 22 of 150. Coming out of turn 4, leading the charge. Nolin in front of Hamill here. Hamill in front of Justin McDuff. Sitting in fourth is Al Smith. So Nolin, Hamill, and Smith, those are your top 3 in the points, and both of those guys, all 3 of those guys, are inside the top 5. So nobody is out of anyone's sight yet, and no one is going to have a clear advantage over the points. And it's way too early to decide who's going to win this championship, but Nolin is doing everything he needs to do to make sure he does win this thing. Al Smith trying to hold on to it. Hamill wants to be the upset. He wants to jump from third to first here in the points, but Hamill has got to get around Nolin first before he can even consider winning this points championship. Back in the field here, Peyton Johnson running 12th. In the shot as well as Wayne McDuff and Jeffrey Clifton. Oh, Peyton Johnson losing it a little bit there. If he can get it going before the leaders come around, we will not have a yellow. Getting it through the gears, he does recover, but he has lost 2 spots, and now the yellows come out as we have another one in trouble. Zach Coyer in the pits. Not sure what happened to Coyer, but he has gone straight to pit road. He has taken a tow over this incident. Got loose, got a little too low over the rumble strips. Spins out, and instead of getting it back going again, he's going to hold down and take the tow. So Zach Coyer bringing out our yellow. So just as the tires were starting to wear out on lap 28, 27, somewhere in there, these guys started getting a little loose, a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 2. Alright, so league rules state you can only take tires once. Most of these guys are not going to take tires at this point in the race. Very early, in my opinion, if I'm a crew chief, I'm telling my driver to stay out. Do not pit. Well, we might see a few pit. Zach Coyer is in the pits, though. He has taken the tow. I didn't see a whole lot of damage done to that machine. We zoom in a little bit here. He might be able to take the tow and get back out there going, but he's going to lose several laps because of this tow. We are on board right now with Ryan Nolin. Led all the laps to lead so far. Started first. Currently first. Fastest lap of a 19.667. That's picking it up and laying it down, folks. AJ Hamill, his best lap is a 19.668. So these guys on the same page as far as lap times. Doing a really great job. Hamill just looking for any kind of opening to get around Ryan Nolin. Nolin just so far not showing a crack in the armor. All right, pace car is in. Here we go. First restart. Restart number 1. Caution number 1. We're getting ready to get back underway. Green flag in the air. Here we go. Nolin getting a great start. Justin McDuff looking to the inside of AJ Hamill. Brian Rogers there side by side with Sean Cool. Sean Cool fighting his way from the back of the pack. Now he's looking inside the top 5. Maybe going to get 4th place here. Ryan Nolin back out front. Justin McDuff tucks in behind AJ Hamill. And Zach Coyer still on pit road. Has not left pit road yet. Justin McDuff trying the outside of AJ Hamill. Gonna tuck in on the straightaway here. Maybe thinking about the inside. Decides against it. Moves up once again to the outside. Hamill moving to the outside a little bit. So the inside of the track looks to be giving up some grip here. Some of these drivers starting to venture out into the outer lanes. Trying to find some grip. Trying to find some time. Anything they can do to get an edge over the competition. Searching that field. Justin McDuff looking to the inside of Hamill here. Gets on the rumble strips. That cost him this move there. Got a little low. Got on those rumble strips. Upset the car. He has to readjust himself. Mount this charge once again to try and get by Hamill. Sean Cool though doing a great job. Like I said, he has made it into the top 5. Last week's winner in dominating fashion. Had to start shotgun on this field. Already in the top 5. We are just under 40 laps into this race. 38 of 150. Not seeing a whole lot of separation happening between these drivers yet. Andy Lambert sitting in 8th place. Starting to lose a little bit of ground, but nothing to worry about here. But the front 7 cars all pretty much running nose to tail. Only one car off into the pits, and that is Zach Coyer. Peyton Johnson, last car here on this lead lap, sitting in 12th. Peyton has lost a lot of ground in the field. Not having the kind of night he was hoping for, but he's out there, he's turning laps. And I'll tell you what, this man, great person to talk to. He will figure this out. Just needs a lot more seat time, and he'll do a great job. Great things coming for Peyton Johnson. Meanwhile, Ryan Nolin. AJ Hamill still haven't decided who has the best car. I haven't decided of these two guys who has the best car. I think they're very equal. Hamill just cannot find a way around Nolin. And I feel that if Nolin were to have a hiccup, if he were to slide up a little bit and open the door for Hamill, that Nolin will not lose any ground to Hamill. I think these two will just stay side by side. Oh, and there it is! Nolin, deep trouble there. Recovers it nicely, but Hamill opened the door, took the spot, and now we're going to see what Hamill has. And we're going to see if Nolin can chase him back down and put the pressure on him, just as I was saying that. And Nolin is closing back in on Hamill. So now Hamill, he has got to do all he can. He needs maximum points. Hamill needs to lead the most laps. He needs to score the most points. He's got to have the cleanest race. He has got to do everything he can. He is 11 points coming into tonight's event behind Al Smith. Ryan Nolin was 4 points behind. Al Smith was our points leader coming into this. Al Smith sitting in 4th place. Justin McDuff sitting in 3rd. McDuff could be the spoiler for many things right now. So I had to check my points real quick. Justin McDuff is not inside the top 10. He has missed quite a few races, but that's all right. He's always a threat to win when he does show up. Now McDuff looking to move to the outside here. Al Smith trying to get underneath him. Peyton Johnson holding to the outside here, letting these lead pack of cars get by. Ooh, that was close by McDuff. But he keeps it clean, keeps it going. Peyton into the wall a little bit there. And the caution is out. Lambert in trouble. Totally not expecting that. So Lambert getting in trouble here. Got into the corner, little hot, little sideways, locks it down, pulls it to the inside. No other contact with other cars, but it will bring out the yellow. So Lambert now bringing out the caution. Lap 52 of 150 right now. Peyton Johnson scored 1 lap down now, getting the wave around. Zach Coyer had trouble earlier, packed it up and went home. Whew. But AJ Hamill, your race leader right now. Nobody's pitted again. We're getting close to that halfway mark. 75 laps. Be looking for 75 laps. Might see some drivers, if a caution comes out around that lap or shortly thereafter, you might see some drivers stop for tires. Now, I can tell you, tires here are not as fast. So if you make a pit stop and you are the only one that makes this pit stop, we have 12 cars on the lead lap. If that continues, if that trend stays, and you make a pit stop and you end up 12th on the field, that's your race. You're done. Your chance of winning is over, because you're not going to be able to make it through. Sean Cool sitting in 5th place. He started shotgun on this field, and it took him 40 laps to make it to about the top 5. He has not been able to break into a lead lap yet. So, oh man, I'd hate to be a crew chief to make that decision. But I'll tell you, these guys, they're smarter than I am. That's why they stuck me in the broadcast booth. The lights are out on the pace car. Field's starting to form up now. Hamill, your pole sitter. We'll watch his stats here. We'll watch his speed and RPMs as he comes around to take this green flag. Pace car pulling off. The field is now in the hands of A.J. Hamill. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Hamill getting a good start. Justin McDuff getting a great start. Moving to the inside of Ryan Nolin. Ryan Nolin getting a charge on the outside now. McDuff not giving up. These two side by side once again. McDuff is holding on there. While these two are battling side by side. Hamill pulling away. Now Ryan Nolin has cleared McDuff. McDuff going to tuck into third. Look to the outside. Smith thinking about the inside here. Doesn't have the run. Going to tuck in. So here we go. Sean Cool losing a little bit of ground. Andrew Hill challenging for it. Brian Rogers going to try and pick a winner here. Rogers wants to follow the guy that passes the guy. Sean Cool, Andrew Hill, which one do you follow, Rogers? He wants to follow the one who's going to make a hole for him to get through as well. The 77 machine of Andrew Hill on the outside, not necessarily the preferred line, but as this track wears in, it's going to be the faster line because that bottom line is going to get hot, it's going to get greasy, and it's going to lose some grip. So these two still haven't figured out where they want to run. Side by side. Hill not giving up on that outside lane. Holding tough on that outside. Doing a good job. He gets a great run down the straightaway. Looks like Sean Cool able to drive in a little bit deeper than Hill. Ooh, a little bit of contact there. That's going to cost Cool some time. Hill still to the outside here. Might tuck in, and he does, so give that spot to Andrew Hill. Now Hill in the top 5. Sean Cool in 6th place. Brian Rogers in the 12 machine in 7th. Rogers, I'm very surprised. He's got that Ford out there. Thought by now he'd be having to push that thing around the track, but no, it's still running. So give Brian Rogers some credit. He's having to baby this thing. You don't want to push that Ford too hard. It might explode. But up front, AJ Hamill, Ryan Nolin, these two have been going after each other all race. A little bit of role reversal. Hamill leading this one. We've seen Ryan Nolin lead quite a few laps. So now it is Hamill's field. Nolin the one putting on the pressure. These two very calm, collected drivers. One little mistake by Nolin allowed Hamill to get underneath him. These guys starting to open a gap over 3rd place Justin McDuff. And the 15 machine and Jeffrey Clifton on pit road here. Don't know if he's trying to short pit and get some tires, maybe make up some time. But pitting under green flag here for Jeffrey Clifton. We'll keep an eye on him and see how this goes. Meanwhile, Nolin getting to the inside of Hamill here. Ooh, and Nolin going to push him up a little bit. So Nolin back to the front. Hamill doing a crossover. Now Hamill to the inside. Nolin going to have to fight his way around on the outside. Peyton Johnson in pit road now. Sorry, not Peyton Johnson. He was... Never mind. Nolin getting a move on the outside. Got by Hamill. So put Nolin back in front. Jeffrey Clifton is pulled behind the wall and packed it up a little bit early. We're on lap 70 of 150. 5 more to halfway. Sean Cool, Andrew Hill still going after each other. Hamill's car is starting to fade a little bit. Hamill not looking as strong as he was now that Nolin has gotten back around. Looks like he's fallen into the clutches of Justin McDuff. So Ryan doing a great job here in this long green flag run. These guys, no one here in the front has taken a pit stop yet. All top 10 cars, no stops for tires or fuel so far. So it's really come down to a lot of setup situation here. And it looks like Ryan Nolin's setup is really starting to shine here. Could see him opening up more of a gap. Go on board now with Ryan Nolin. Get a look at Peyton Johnson. Johnson into the wall a little bit as Nolin dives underneath to put him another lap down. So Ryan Nolin doing everything he can to win this race, win this points championship as well. Check in on some other drivers here. Andy Lambert in the 70 machine. He's holding on to 8th spot right now. He's found a little bit of a empty hole to drive in, log some laps as we are on lap 76 and 150, just over halfway. Lambert a little bit sideways there, getting into the corner. Sean Cool and Andrew Hill. Looks like Sean Cool has managed to get around Andrew Hill. And now is closing in on Al Smith. Cool with the wiggle coming out of turn 2 there. And Al Smith sitting in 4th place. That's where he's been running for most, if not all of this race. Oh, and looks like he got very sideways coming out of 2. Caused Sean to have to check up. Andrew Hill now fighting Sean Cool on the outside. So Al Smith with a big wiggle. And now Justin McDuff looks to be making a move. So AJ Hamill is definitely starting to give up here in this long run, as we're looking at getting ready to start lap 80 of 150. So 80 laps on these tires, and Hamill is starting to fall back. McDuff and Ryan Nolin don't appear to be slowing down any. Nolan's best lap of a 19.667. His last time by was a 20.2. So we're looking at 0.6 seconds of a fall off here. Justin McDuff, his best time of a 19.615. So that's faster than Ryan Nolin's for his best lap. He turned to 20.280. So he is turning some good laps here. He's clicking off some fast laps. Might be able to close in, might be able to challenge Nolin for this race lead here. But it's going to take him a few laps to get there. As once again, he's just a little bit faster than Nolin. So he's closing that gap. Closing in on Ryan Nolin little by little. McDuff running that high side there, just about a lane and a half above the bottom groove. That last time by Ryan Nolin was just a hair faster. As they cross the line once again, we're going to see who was faster there, and that time it was Justin McDuff, but now he went way hot into turn 1. That's going to cost him some time. Laps are clicking off here. Check in on Wayne McDuff. Justin and Wayne are brothers out here. Justin in the 20, Wayne in the 4. Peyton Johnson scored 1 lap down, currently in 11th, that 85 machine running the high side. Douglas Wysocki in the 45, my favorite paint scheme, holding on to this top 10 spot. Last car on the lead lap, doing a great job. Solid race by him so far. Sean Cool thinking about making a move here on Al Smith, just not quite close enough. Smith trying to close in on Hamill. Smith wants to get as many points as he can. He wants to have 0 cars between him and Nolin. In fact, he would prefer if he won this race. But so far, unable to, and he gets sideways, he's in trouble. Al Smith, big time trouble. Yellow coming out. Smith spinning almost into the second back straight pit stalls. Gets it straightened out. There he goes, gets going again, but he has lost a lot of ground. He's currently scored 8th place. So Al Smith in trouble there. As we go on board with Al Smith, you can see he got into the corner a little hot. Never could catch the car, spun it around. Managed to not hit anything and get back going again. So your points leader coming into this race, big time trouble. Many cars on pit road here. Multiple cars. All the lead lap cars pitting for tires. Who's going to win the race off pit road? Ryan Nolin was the first one out. Or first one on the pit road. And he's going to be the first one out. AJ Hamill, Sean Cool, Justin McDuff, Brian Rogers, Andrew Hill, Buzzy Lambert, Wayne McDuff, and Al Smith. There you go. And pulling off pit road now is Douglas Wysocki. So there you go. And Peyton Johnson, last one to pit here, thought he might stay out, try and get his lap back, get on the lead lap, but he has taken a pit stop here. Being the only car 1 lap down, he probably got the wave around. Can't confirm because I didn't see it, but I believe he would have got the wave around. So that's going to put 11 cars on the lead lap now. And Johnson's still on pit road, beating out the pace car just a little bit there. Don't know if he beat it out or not. Douglas Wysocki got trapped behind the pace car. When the field forms up, he will get waved past the pace car, but these guys, all 11 drivers out on the track, able to make pit stops. So we're on lap 93 of 150. You know what? We're going to do a little bit of crank it up, guys. Enjoy this restart.
Green flag, green flag.
Ryan Nolin out front once again. Sean Cool in second. Sean Cool doing a great job. Had a great pit stop. Made some passes. Now he's in second place. Started shotgun on the field. The biggest mover of the race so far by far. Now here he is. Dominating race last week. Looking to make a move on Ryan Nolin. Everyone on fresh tires. All of our cars out there got to stop for tires. Every car on the lead lap. Jeffrey Clifton, Zach Coyer packed it up, gone home. We have 11 cars left in this race. These guys laying it all out there. Ryan Nolin wants to win this championship. He's doing everything correct to do so. He's leading laps. He's out front, in position to win this race. Lap 100 of 150. Final 50 laps here. And I'll tell you, Al Smith has a tall order cut out for him. He's currently scored in 6th place. He's got to find a couple tenths a second. Got to do what he can to make some moves, make some stuff happen. Needs to find a little bit extra speed. Don't know if he could find it with these fresh tires, but he is in big time trouble as far as the championship standings are concerned. Ryan Nolin, his closest rival, 4 points behind, leading the most laps so far. Probably has locked that down as leading the most laps, or will lock it down if he hasn't done so yet. Al Smith, big trouble here. He needs to get to the front and do everything he can to secure that points championship. AJ Himmel, 3rd in points right now coming into tonight's event. Here he is sitting 3rd in the race. He's doing what he can, hoping for the best to leapfrog both Smith and Nolin. But he can't leapfrog Nolin if he doesn't get in front of him. Meanwhile, Sean Cool, he hasn't decided if he wants to win this thing yet or not. He won last week. He wants to have a back-to-back win. And I'll tell you, he's got some speed in that car. Looks like he's not giving Ryan Nolin an inch of space. Ryan Nolin needs to hold on to this lead, needs to finish as best as he can. Maybe not get into a battle with Sean Cool. Maybe you let Sean Cool by. Let Sean Cool win this race. And you think big picture here. Do you want to win the race? Do you want to win the points? Which one's it going to be? Sean Cool maybe tries to make a move, breaks loose a little bit, wipes out Ryan Nolin. Nolin can no longer race. Those things can happen. Not that it would be intentional, but, you know, these guys are out here racing. Ooh, and here we go. Sean Cool making a move to the inside. Ryan Nolin way up the track. Dives it down low, gets a great run off the corner. Sean Cool has to battle to the inside, battle back from the inside. Nolin doing a great job on the outside line there. Nolin very smooth, doing a great job fighting off Sean Cool, but the pressure from Cool is still there. Nolin fended off that attack, but how many more times can he do that? Meanwhile, Andrew Hill getting around Justin McDuff. Hill and sideways into the wall, and oh, big time trouble for Hill. This is going to bring out a caution. So Hill making a move on Justin McDuff. Got a little bit squirrely coming out of 2. Got into the corner a little hot. Got it a little crossed up. Chased it up the track into the wall. Then he just held it there. Everyone squeaked by. And then Hill spun it back around and kept on going. So now Hill on pit road. Extensive damage to that right front. Fast repair used right there. Hill needs to get going as the field is coming around to pass him up, and Hill does. He's going to get off pit road. No challenge there by any of the other cars putting him a lap down. So we're going to stay with 11 cars on the lead lap. So Ryan Nolin, your race leader. Ryan Nolin has led 87 laps. He's led the most laps by far. Nobody can catch him. The next most laps led is AJ Hamill with 24. So Hamill would have to get by him right here, right now, and start leading laps. In fact, I don't even think Hamill can catch him at this point, as we're on lap 114 of 150. So no, Hamill cannot catch him. So Ryan Nolin leading the most laps here. Pace car pulling off. Ryan Nolin, Sean Cool, your front row here on this restart. AJ Hamill and Justin McDuff, row 2. Al Smith doing a great job. He's into 5th. Brian Rogers on his outside. So Al Smith doing a great job recovering. Nolin getting a great jump on Sean Cool there. Hamill making a move on McDuff. Justin gonna tuck in behind him. Sean Cool back where he started, right on the back bumper of Ryan Nolin. Cool wants to lead some laps. He wants to get by Nolin. Putting that pressure on him. As Justin McDuff in trouble here. He's lost a lot of ground. He's in the outside here. Not sure what happened to him. Looks like he got into the wall very hard. Got some damage to that right front. Extensive damage as he goes all the way back to 9th place. Maybe even going to lose some more ground to Peyton Johnson and Douglas Wysocki. Didn't quite see what happened there, but that has cost him a lot of ground. And that's going to put Al Smith back into 4th place. So Smith is fully recovered from his spin. He was in 4th place when he spun. Now he's back into 4th place. I'll tell you what, guys, this is oh man, Brian Rogers, the surprise of the field in that Ford machine. He's still out there. The little Ford that could, the only Ford out there tonight. Al Smith supposedly in a Ford too, but it's whatever. We don't talk about Al being in a Ford. So Ryan Nolin's still your race leader. Sean Cool still in 2nd. Cool doing a great job putting pressure on Nolin, but Nolin is a very cool cat. Very, very solid under pressure. As you can see the battle here between Sean Cool and Ryan Nolin. The jam plane. Oh my goodness. Thought he was going to get into the back of Nolin there. These guys, lap after lap, you can see that Sean Cool just a little bit faster. Just cannot find an opening. Needs a little bit of a gap to stick his nose in somewhere. Here he goes trying it. Not able to make it work. And then Nolin getting a little washed up there. Sean Cool looking to the inside. Can he make it stick? No. Nolin getting a great run on the outside, but once again, oh, and Nolin is going to pinch him off here. Man, these guys, oh, so close. What a great battle they are having. And Hamill sitting in third, hoping that these guys take each other out and he wins the race and the points. It's anyone's race, folks. We're on 125 of 50, 25 laps to go. Everyone better buckle in tight because it's about to get crazy. Smith holding on to fourth. Rogers fifth. Andy Lambert, who had trouble earlier, back into sixth place. Having a great run going. Justin McDuff, who we saw not too many laps ago, wash up, got in the outside wall. Here he is running seventh. That damage has really affected his car. It looks like he's dropped a lot of time on his lap. Best lap of 19.6. He turned to 20.0, so 4/10. Ooh, and the yellow flag is out. And Hamill in trouble. AJ Hamill is the one in trouble here. Hamill made a move on Sean Cool. Got to the inside of him. Went into 1 and 2, got into the rumble strips. Sean Cool finished him off. Hamill had to lift to save the car from the rumble strip. Sean Cool really didn't have anywhere to go. Got in the back of him, finished spinning around. So Hamill in trouble once again. All right, I shouldn't say once again, but Hamill big time loser there. And we're running out of laps to have some issues. So Hamill third in points coming into tonight. Did not want to have that happen. Got a little low. Got into the bump strips. Whatever you want to call them. Spun the car around. Sean Cool trying not to get into him, but had nowhere to go. Finished him off. And now Hamill currently scored 9th place. All right, so Ryan Nolin, Sean Cool, Al Smith. That is kind of what Al Smith wanted to see. Al Smith is a nice guy. That's not what he really wanted to see. He'd like to see everybody finish the race, challenge him, do all that stuff. But deep down, that has put AJ Hamill behind him. That's moved him into third. That has moved him that much closer to this points championship. Now he's got to get the restart of his life. He's got to do what he can to stick with Ryan Nolin, to put the pressure on him and Sean Cool. Force Sean Cool to stay in that outside lane and make the pass. Alright, lights are still on the pace car. Probably one more time around. And Wayne McDuff, been sitting in pit road for a while, just now catching up onto that. He's 11 laps down. He's been on pit road for 5 minutes. Totally missed what happened to him. It looks like he's got a little bit of damage there. Alright, so here we go, guys. One more restart. We are inside of 25 laps to go. Final stages of this race. Pace car pulling off. Ryan Nolin, your pole position. And there he goes, getting a great jump on Sean Cool. Al Smith
Green flag, green flag.
got caught a little off guard by that. But he's going to slot into third. So first, second, and third. Fourth, fifth, all single file going into turn one. Justin McDuff battling on the outside. He's going to make it stick. He's scored 6th place right now. He might not be done. Looking to try and get around Andy Lambert. Lambert doing a great job inside the top 5. Had an earlier issue. Here he is, race finishing out. Lambert has made his way back to the front. Can never count Lambert out of a top 5 finish, even a race win. When the race is drawn to a close, this guy finds a way to the front. He's under serious pressure from McDuff. While I'm saying that, Ryan Nolin and Sean Cool and Al Smith. Sean Cool has managed to get by Ryan Nolin. Sorry we missed that, but Ryan Nolin let Sean Cool by. That's put him in the clutches of Al Smith. Al, oh man, Al can almost taste this championship win. He's got to find a way around Ryan Nolin now. He's got him in his sights. They're sitting right there. They're second and third. First place in points was Al Smith. Second place in points, Ryan Nolin. These two still here. Second and third on track. Way too close to start and try and figure out who's going to win the championship. But Sean Cool out front, leading his first laps of tonight's event. And if Cool can win this, he will go back to back here with Racing for a Cause in the Shriners Hospital for Children 150. The field really starting to spread out a little bit. Andy Lambert, Justin McDuff, 5th and 6th place here. Everyone's tired of taking a beating. We've got 50 laps on these tires now. Hey, John Johnson, man, if you get the chance to come into TeamSpeak, we'd love to talk with you. You don't have to be in the race, but we'd love to have you in TeamSpeak to do a post-race interview. So if you're free for that, man, I'd love to get a chat to you and talk a little bit about the Shriners Hospital for Children and why this is cool. Back up front, this guy, it took him most of the race to get here. He started shotgun on the field. And now he's back up front. He could go back to back. AJ Hamill, big time trouble for Hamill. He is fallen well off the pace after running in the top 5 for almost the entirety of this race. Coming to the tonight's event, 3rd in points. And here he is, big time off pace. Huge disappointment for him. He had his sights set on maybe a race win, maybe a championship upset, but not going to be able to get it done here. As it looks like he's suffering more and more troubles here. Currently scored 10th place. But back up front, Ryan Nolin is starting to reel in Sean Cool. Ryan Nolin doing everything he can to win tonight's race and the championship. He's led the most laps. He's got that locked down. He's running second. He's currently ahead of Al Smith. Al Smith came into the night 4 points ahead of Ryan Nolin. Now with these two running second and third, Ryan Nolin leading the most laps. That points gap really disappeared. Final 2 laps to go. Sean Cool out front. Ryan Nolin holding on to second place. Al Smith under heavy pressure for 3rd here. Brian Rogers, Al Smith, 2 of the Fords in this field. Absolutely stunned that these Fords have made it as many laps as they have. And here we go, folks. Sean Cool has a little bit of gap over Ryan Nolin. Sean Cool looking to go back to back. Can he get it done? Final time around, final lap. Checkered flag in the air. Give it to Sean Cool, going back to back here at Myrtle Beach. Stafford last week. Sean Cool, your race winner. Ryan Nolin in second. Oh my goodness, Al Smith gonna finish third. But your race winner, Sean Cool, we're gonna talk to him. We're gonna talk to probably Al Smith and hopefully Ryan Nolin. I'd love to talk to John Johnson. If you can get in here, that'd be great. As we watch Sean Cool burn it down here. Alright guys, give me just a second here. I'm going to try and get some people into the room to give them an interview. So if you will, just bear with me for a little bit while I work on figuring out who we're going to interview tonight. So one more moment while I figure this out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have everything official. It is set in stone. This is it. We're going to start with our race winner, Sean Cool. Sean Cool, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Care?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Man, you went back-to-back 2 weeks in a row, started shotgun on the field, took you most of the race to get to the front, and once you got that breath of fresh air, you were gone, man. Give us a little bit about the race, what you saw out there, and the challenge it was to come from the back to the front to win this thing.
Yeah, these guys got a cool rule here where if you win the week before, you go to the back the next week. So we stayed true to that and started to work through. A lot of the guys were really considerate, very give and take like throughout the course of the beginning of the race, and everybody worked together. Got up to about mid-pack range, and it started obviously as normal. Everybody started to race a little more, and we started getting deeper in the race. And then I got up behind Al, and I was worried to try and do anything because I kind of just rode, which allowed Hill to race a little bit when Hill got the shot, which was a lot of fun. He did a great job. I even got real loose one time, and he checked up and gave me a lot of room to gather back up so we could all keep going. and we got a couple yellows, which one of them where we went down pit road, which changed kind of the running order and kind of changed how everybody was racing. And then I was able to get to second, and I rode behind Nolan for a little while, trying to get him to make a mistake right in his tracks, and he did really well with that. He didn't make too many. Even a couple that he did, he was able to recover fast. So even when I tried to attack, it wasn't much to it. And then I don't know, I felt like we kind of leaned on each other a little bit out of one of the corners. So on the ensuing restart, we raced pretty good again, did the same thing, and I was able to get by him. So it was pretty good.
Man, I'll tell you, it was exciting watching you come through the field. You did a great job. You've gone back to back. And as far as I know, you're the first one to do it since I've been broadcasting. I'll have to check my notes. And I don't know where they are because I can't keep track of anything. So congratulations on it, man. What a great job. That's got to be... You just got to be flush with adrenaline right now.
Oh, I'm pumped. It's just pumping through me right now. Like I'll be up for a while tonight, just kind of simmering back down. It wasn't easy. That was, to be quite honest, was kind of difficult. And Nolan is one fierce competitor, so running Ryan like that, lap after lap, trying to race for the win was a blast. And it was, I guess, yeah, I'm pumped with adrenaline, that's for sure.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the race win, back to back here at Myrtle Beach and Stafford. So great job, and thank you for sticking around and talking with us.
Absolutely. Don't waste too much time on me, though. Go talk to your champ. Congrats to Nolan on winning the championship, and thanks to Andy and everybody for putting this stuff on. It was real fun running around this track today in the afternoon. It was hot and slick and difficult. It was a lot of fun.
All right, Sean, we're going to move on to the next person here we're to interview, and that will be John Johnson, who is not in the race. But John Johnson, tell us a little bit about what you did here in the fact that you're racing for a cause. This was your cause tonight. This was your thing. And tell us a little bit about the Shriners Hospital for Children 150.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate you having me on, KR. Yeah, hate I missed a race, man. I hadn't had a whole lot of time to devote the last couple of weeks to being out on the track. I was able to get an Xfinity Series in, but wasn't able to get into this one, unfortunately. Yeah, Shriners Hospital for Children is, near and dear to my heart, and that's one thing that really helped me out with Race for a Cause. I donate to them each and every month, and wanted to make sure we put them out there so everybody can see them.
All right. Well, you know what? We got you out here. We got Shriners Hospital for Children 150 at Myrtle Beach. And I'll tell you, this was a great race. I think you picked the right time to have it. And one of my sponsors in the past, he was a Shriner. So this is one that was kind of close to my heart in the fact that a Shriner once sponsored my racing career. So can you tell us a little bit about what the Shriners mean to you and why this is the race and everything you chose?
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly just because, I've been donating to the foundation for so long, and, just really like what they're about and what they represent.
All right. Well, you know what? I can't argue with that because they're a good group of people. So anybody that you'd like to say a special thanks to here for tonight's broadcast?
Oh, absolutely. Just thanking Racing for a Cause, thanking, you for broadcasting the race. I wasn't able to get in there to see but the last few laps of it, but we'll be going back to check it out and take a look at it and make sure we get the whole race in. But, yeah, thank you guys for doing what you guys do, and thank Racing for a Cause.
All right, that was John Johnson, tonight's Racing for a Cause promoter, purchaser, however you want to say it. I'll have to get with the league admins what I'm supposed to say here, but thank you, John, for this race tonight, and hopefully we did the Shriners proud.
Oh, absolutely, and I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful night. Wish I could have got in a bit earlier, but we're definitely going to look forward to checking out what the broadcast was.
All right, well, have a good night, John, and thank you for talking to us.
Absolutely, KR. You have a good night.
All right, That leaves the last person to talk to tonight. It has been confirmed by 1 point. Ryan Nolin, your series champion. How does that feel to know that you won the championship here in the late models?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Definitely didn't think that we'd be in this position, and I knew in that last race, Al consistently runs well. He's always in the top 5, so in order to beat him, the only way we could do is just try to get bonus points, and luckily we got the pole and the bonus point there, and I think we probably led the most laps. And then also there's bonus points for no incident, so I was trying to do all that while keeping it clean, and was able to do that. So I think just the incident points alone was just barely enough to make it work. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, the way that went. I really wanted to win that race. Got a little bumper tag there, but I mean, I was probably a little bit slower than him, than Sean, and he did a good job going up through the field. And I didn't really want to press the issue too hard, just so I wouldn't get any extra incident points. But yeah, it was a great race.
Man, the last handful of races, you've been inching in on that points lead, inching in, week after week. Did you ever lose a little bit of confidence in it? Did you ever think that maybe this wasn't going to happen? I even thought one week I assumed you had the points lead, but when the final tally came out, it was still Al Smith. So was that ever discouraging? Were you ever worried about it, or were you just so confident you knew you just had to keep doing your own thing?
Well, I don't really. I try not to race for points, and I mean this race I did, but the rest of the races I just try to race for wins, and the points kind of settle themselves. But I wasn't really even planning on running for the points in this series, and just started running a little bit and having fun. So I figured might as well just keep on racing. Andy Lambert puts on a great league, and it's always a pleasure to run with him.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, it has been a great pleasure on my behalf calling the races you've been in, calling the races that you and Al have battled in. You guys always seem to be running side by side and, getting to interview you guys. And here you are, the season champion, and I get to interview one more time. And, man, I'll tell you what, that whole time, this whole race, it was all up in the air because I know Al likes to lay in the weeds a little bit. He likes to hang back. So I didn't know where this was going to go.
Yeah, it came down to the last few laps. I think when I got kind of pushed there and to the outside, Al had a really good chance to get inside of me at that point, and then the race would have been, at least the championship would have been over for me. But yeah, it was really just, I mean, it's amazing that it came down to 1 point, and we just worked out where we got the bonus points, and Al, of course, was right there at the end, so he did a great job. So yeah, it was just a close race, and good racing with a lot of good competitors.
All right, Ryan. Well, can't stress it enough. Congratulations. Season championship here. It's got to feel good. Anybody you want to thank and things you want to mention while I got you on the mic?
Yeah, like always, I got to thank Andy Lambert for putting on this league, you for broadcasting. My parents are always watching, so they appreciate it. I got to thank my parents for supporting. They sponsored the Skyview Customs race earlier this season. Got to thank my wife, of course, for putting up with me doing these kind of late night races. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone. Thank you.
All right, Ryan. Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure that everyone will be proud to call you the points champion here in the Racing for a Cause Super Late Models.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, guys, that was Ryan Nolin, your points champion by 1 stinking point. Holy cow, 1 point. All Al Smith had to do was feed the bumper to him just a little bit, but Al didn't do it. Here we are, Ryan Nolin, your points champion for this season. Sean Cool won the race here at Myrtle Beach, and I'll tell you what, John Johnson getting in with the Shriners Hospitals for Children 150. So that was the 3 we interviewed tonight. Guys, thank you for joining me. I hope everyone had a good time. What a great season finale this was. And I'll tell you what, I have got to get going because I have another race to broadcast. Stay right here on this channel. We're going to go do some midgets on dirt. And if y'all aren't going nowhere, I'd love to have you in the chat room. Come and hang out with me. Thank you very much for watching this. Congratulations to Sean Cool for the race win back-to-back. Congratulations to Ryan Nolin for winning the points championship. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Hope everyone had a good night, and I will see you all next time.